Space is often visualized as a stage, a vast theater where physical objects are simply placed, moving through the void without disturbing the stage itself. Modern physics encounters a severe mathematical crisis when calculating the energy residing within this supposedly empty volume. Standard quantum field theory attempts to derive this energy by summing every fluctuating possible field mode without applying a restraining filter. This unregulated summing leads to nearly infinite energy estimates, results that wildly contradict observed reality. What if the problem is not the existence of possibility? What if the problem is assuming that all possibility is admissible? Treating the void as an entity that accepts every fluctuating wave mode represents a mechanical error. The vacuum is not a passive accountant. The vacuum energy catastrophe suggests a deeper truth. Empty space is a selective environment, requiring a new definition of physical admissibility. The vacuum is not an empty background. It functions as a rigid, active hierarchy. It exerts the final word on what can exist. The vacuum is the deepest, most unyielding boundary condition in the system. Within this environment, the modal lattice provides the possible tracks. These tracks are merely mathematical opportunities. The vacuum decides which of those tracks can actually be financed. It is the clearinghouse. Before any geometry can manifest as matter, it must first survive an aggressive, active audit by the space it intends to occupy. The vacuum applies a strict mechanical audit to incomplete geometry. Open routes are mechanically expensive. These routes fail because open lines continuously export unresolved coherence debt into the surrounding boundary. The boundary responds to this debt with an active, crushing rejection of the unstable geometry. This systematic force, refusal pressure, actively prunes the lattice and erases unstable configurations. A different rule applies to structures that achieve self-resolution. Closed routes persist. Empty space acts as an unyielding editor, scouring the lattice and violently removing any track unable to resolve its own structure. This shifts our understanding of particles and planets. The classical view of matter as stuff inside a void fails to account for the geometric pressure of space. Matter is what survives the vacuum's refusal. Survival requires a precise architecture. Matter consists of phase-locked, perfectly closed geometric loops. These loops endure because they possess the continuous, unbroken architecture required to successfully deflect the vacuum's aggressive boundary pressure. While open tracks are scoured from the lattice, these fortified survivors remain. Physical reality is the result of extreme structural endurance. Matter is what remains after emptiness has finished saying no. If the vacuum systematically prunes every open route, this refusal must follow a specific mechanical sequence. What does the vacuum refuse first? Color. The fundamental forces, beginning with confinement, trace back to this systematic refusal of unresolved geometry. Space does not merely host the universe, it enforces the conditions for its existence.